The weird thing about battle rap is, again, I made the comparison with professional wrestling. I think the only other profession that has that connotation is now MMA, but also boxing. The only other person I can think of that has that kind of, he's lost, and he lost in a certain way, we're going to tear him down, irrespective of, is Anthony Joshua. There's a guy who did everything by a blueprint, and then the second he had a stumble, it was a case of, well, I guess you were never any good. And it's like, were any of you lining up to question him before he goes up against a bad opponent on bad preparation, in first fighting a debut country, all the rest of this stuff? Fights the guy, gets the title back. Now he fights Usyk, loses in convincing fashion, has a couple of stumbles PR-wise because he has a few moments that are probably ill-advised. But here's the thing: if that's him being him, I'd rather him be him and be true to himself and say, look, I am an alpha, and I refuse to accept that I lost that, and I'm going to go back in and improve myself, because heart of hearts, a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people, like you said, wouldn't have the courage of their convictions to take the loss and say, I won't let this define me. But in order to prove those people wrong, I have to put myself in that same, I have to put myself back in the fire. And there's a risk I'm going to get burnt again, and possibly permanently this time. And in boxing, as it is in battle rap, it's so easy for a reputation to be tarnished, considering how long it takes to cultivate. Like, and it's unreal how fickle audiences can be, despite how vociferously they can support you. So I guess what my question is, because it's funny, I've not asked you a single question in any of our conversations so far.
No, you haven't. I just ramble. I told you, but I ramble on, man.
Very weird interview from that perspective, in that I've not asked you a question. Shit interview style, it must be said. But I guess, considering that you've got a well-established reputation and a legacy that anyone in the field would kill to emulate, what do you see yourself as in terms of, because it feels like you've still got plenty of ambition and plenty of motivation to continue on. So I guess what I want to ask is, what do you see yourself being for battle rap and music and performative? And obviously you're still doing projects, and you're still getting signed up for things. Like, you strike me as more of a kind of a lead. This sounds like fucking Hallmark cardish, I'm sorry, but a bit of a leader. Like, you seem to take a lot of responsibility for the scene, and for, again, with young people, and trying to educate them from to sort of adults, and sort of young adults, and trying to set a good example, and trying to teach them a good way of life. And now, as obviously as a father, but what do you see for yourself?
That's a very good question, man. That is a very good question.
I was due one, I suppose. Sorry, took me fucking 2 hours. Sorry about that.
Because, like I said, the Bizzo battle took a lot out. In terms of, I've never prepped so early. And like I say that knowing full well I wrote my third round on the Thursday. Whereas I normally would write on the Friday. So, and then battle on the Saturday. But I had the first round probably, I'm gonna say 3 months. And then 6 weeks before the battle, I scrapped the whole first round that I had and wrote a different first round. I had that for a period of time. Then with maybe 3 weeks to go, 4 weeks, 3 weeks to go, I wrote the second round. And I just spent the time tweaking those first 2 rounds. But obviously, full-time job, kids to look after, all other things to be done, and then just also just to be me. I just want to link my friends sometimes and go and just do what we do. So what it took in terms of the energy and the focus to go into it, and the things that I had to disregard, the other aspects of my life I had to disregard in order to get it done, it made me realize that I'm definitely, there's not that many battles left in me. I'm not In 2011, I did 3 battles in 6 weeks. Like I did a 2-week gap between 3 different opponents. I think in 2011, I might have done 8 battles. 2012, I might have done 6 or 7 battles. I've done that thing of battling every month, every other month, banging them out. And I've realized the difference in my mentality. I can no longer do that. I couldn't even, you would have to literally give me enough money that I wouldn't have to go to work for the next 2 months. And then I'd be able to do it. But no one's gonna pay me that money in UK battle rap. That's not a thing. So as far as where I go from here, I've spoken to Suus, I've spoken to Iron Solomon, I've spoken to Hollow the Don. Those 3 are 3 battles that do interest me and that I would like to get at least one of them out the way before I finally call this like a day and it's done and dusted. However, with that being said, if I don't do those 3, I've still done I've done more than, if you was to ask a newcomer, whose career trajectory would you like to follow? Who would you like, in terms of opponents, who would you like to battle? I've got the very best in England, the US, and Canada on my resume. Like, I've done everything. I was the undefeated champion. I was the first person in the written league to successfully defend the title 3 times. I've made little bits of history in battle rap. I get to be considered, and this is something that I try to explain this to my kids because it baffles me at times. How many battle rappers are there in the world? If you look on Verse Tracker, there's like 26,000 or something like that. And that's just the ones that have videos up, right? There's more who don't have footage or who are just coming up or whatnot. So just around the world, in all different countries, there's a couple million battle rappers. And I get to be called one of the best. There's not many people who get that opportunity. Like, who gets that in their chosen field? How many people get to be called the best, to sit at the top? Not that many. So I'm in a privileged position. So if I don't get to do those particular battles, I'm not that, like, I couldn't be mad. Because to look at my resume, I've got Pat Stay, Arsenal, Shotty Horror, Charlie Clips, Illmac, Soul, Shocks, like Bizzo Bond. And then like Georgie Roots, who's just from the new generation, who's a brand new one who's just come up. I have my pick from various different generations and various different phases of battle rap. And I got to run roughshod. I got to be at the top of the game for 12 years. So where I go from here, I do have a couple irons in the fire. There are, like I said, either one of those battles or all 3 of them, or maybe they won't happen. But there are a lot of other opportunities. I do get paid for writing. I'm recognized as a writer. I speak to various people in various places, doing bits and pieces. So I will continue to be involved heavily in the scene. Like, as far as battle rap goes, I will not leave this alone until I have to leave it alone. Like, I love this stuff. And anyone will tell you, you'll see me just turn up to random battle events, man. Like, not major ones. When No Loose Chat had a tryout down the road from my house, I dropped my daughter off to a birthday party, and I went and watched battles for like 2 hours. I missed the main event because I had to go and pick her up. But I just popped in because it's battle rap, man. I like to see what's happening. I like to see what's new, who's good, who's got potential, who maybe needs a whisper in the air, like who needs a pat on the back. Those kind of things there. I think I see myself in more of that position going forward, in as much as, I mean, they did give me a team to manage in Premier Battles. And I put together the team, and then I took very little interest in it. But it was more because I put the team together to put a spotlight on those particular rappers. I wanted those rappers to get their shine. I wasn't really that concerned about it. Like, I just wanted them to do their thing. But then, because I wasn't that involved, they're just like, yeah, Tony, you're not doing the thing. Fair enough, bro. Like, you're not wrong. Like, fair enough. I ain't mad at all. But I do see myself in a role of, I wouldn't say like talent development or artist development, but you'll see me at events, you'll see me on podcasts, you'll see me on blogs and vlogs and whatnot, and just giving pointers and just trying to keep the scene healthy and to just show people the stuff that I know. You know, like, if you've been here 6 months battling, you could learn a lot from me. Do you know what I mean? I've been
fucking
here just
understatement. Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
So, like, that's kind of where I see it going from here. In terms of, like, just battle-wise, genuinely, the amount of effort, and kudos to Bizzo, because he brought this out, but the amount of effort that I had to put in to make that battle happen, I don't know if I can continue to do that. I don't know if I've got the time or the energy to devote into, like, yeah, I can do this again. But yeah, as far as like still being in the scene and on the scene, oh, you're definitely gonna see me around. You're definitely gonna see me. I've got a little project of my own that I'm trying to start, and it will be within the battle rap community, but also within the wider UK hip hop community, because obviously within rap, like, I'm well known from the Poisonous Poets days. So I've garnered a lot of respect over the years. People know they know who I am. They know that I'm authentic. They know I'm not here trying to be something that I'm not. I'm not here to front on nobody. I'm here to encourage and promote. Like, I want to see good things happen for other people. Like, that's my main objective. This thing called battle rap allowed me a platform to gain fans around the world, to gain respect for my craft. And if I'm in a position where I can help somebody else gain all of those things through it, then why not, man? Why not? And I think that's kind of where I go from here. I still rap raps, I still do bits and pieces, but as far as an actual battle, like, bro, do you know how easy it is to go into a studio on your phone or on a paper and say, I didn't even like that tape? No, do you know what? Cut that. No, just the last 2 bars, then drop me in. Yeah, all right, my guy, all right, boom. You can't do that in a battle rap. It's a one-off. You got one take, and you got to get it like that, man. You got to get it to bang. And it's a lot. It takes a lot. The nights I spent up just like 4 o'clock in the morning before I go to bed, because I'm just there rapping to myself, saying the same stuff over and over and over and over again, man. And that part is not fun. I don't think it ever was fun still, to be honest with you, but that part is definitely not fun.